I'm Andy.
And I'm Jennifer.
Now, 10 years ago, we set up a charity called Love Oliver in memory of our little boy, Oliver. And we help families who have children with this horrible disease called cancer.
Love Oliver helps these families in lots of different ways, including with money, with digital thermometers, healthy meals for parents when their child is in hospital, and other things like toys and books and games for children to use while they're in hospital.
We also give money to a group of scientists in Newcastle University so that they can look at the disease cancer and see if they can find better treatments to help the children that have it.
Our friend Jenny has written an amazing book about a very brave little armadillo called Chicken Legs. And we want to share this with you today because it is all about supporting your friends through really hard times. What's more special about this book is that it is raising money for Love Oliver in memory of a beautiful little girl called Maisie, whose family we got to know last year when Maisie was in hospital.
So are you ready? Here it comes. Chicken Legs Arroyo by Jenny Lucas.
Hello, my name's Jenny. Now, as Andy and Jennifer, the charity Love Oliver, have just mentioned, today we're going to read my story, Chicken Legs Arroyo. What's an arroyo? Well, arroyo is the Spanish word for stream or river, and today's story takes place right beside an arroyo and it's all about the adventures of a little armadillo called Chicken Legs. Now, Chicken Legs goes on an amazing adventure, but she gets a little bit lost and she needs to ask her friends for some help to get back home to her family. Today's story is all about being brave and about not being afraid to ask our friends for some help if we need to. Have you ever had to ask your friends to help you with something? I know I have to ask my friends for help all the time, and that's okay. I hope you enjoy today's story. Chicken Legs was very wee. Her ears were awfully small. Each eye as tiny as a pea. She dreamed of being tall. Chicken Legs and Mum and Dad lived by an arroyo dry. In a burrow, safe and warm, hidden from the clear blue sky. One morning, while Dad was sleeping, Mum was teaching from a book. And while her students' hands were raised, from the burrow, Chicken Legs snook. Wow! Chicken Legs was dazzled. Up here's much brighter than below, and in the distance, could that be the other side of the arroyo? 3 armadillos in a row watched Chicken Legs go past. They followed her with wary eyes. What are her plans? They asked. Chicken Legs tried climbing upon a rock to see what she could see. Oh, Chicken Legs, you're much too weak, they chorused, 1, 2, 3. Chicken Legs was very cross. She knew they had been rude. But instead of climbing any more, she marched off in a mood. The arroyo stretched for miles and miles. It was really rather long. But while Chicken Legs was getting tired, her legs were growing strong. Meanwhile, when Mum was finished lessons, she found herself in fear. She woke up Dad and cried out loud, "Where's Chicken Legs, my dear?" Chicken Legs had crossed the arroyo and was preparing to head back again, when upon her little shoulders fell big fat drops of rain. The arroyo had been very dry each day of Chicken Legs' life, but now it was filling up with rain and adding to her strife. Chicken Legs cried for help, and just like magic, there she found a bird, a frog and bunny rabbit appear beside her on the ground. "It rained and I want Mum and Dad," Chicken Legs at once exclaimed. "Why don't you swim back?" the frog replied, and Chicken Legs blushed, ashamed. "I don't know how," wailed Chicken Legs, but the frog was very kind. "Just stretch your legs big and wide. I'll teach you from behind." When Chicken Legs looked doubtful, the rabbit jumped up high. "See? You can cross the arroyo just like I can touch the sky. You can do anything, Chicken Legs, her new friend spoke with pride. Just stretch your arms and kick your feet, and you'll soon be on the other side. Well, Chicken Legs was tired. It had been much too far for her to roam. So she did what they suggested and started swimming home. As she swam from way up high and on the shores below, Mum and Dad and her new friends called, "Go, Chicken Legs, go!" When Chicken Legs was finished, Mum and Dad were with a crowd. They smiled and laughed and held her close and cried, "You've made us proud." Thank you, friends, for showing me that I'm not long or very strong. All that really matters is I'm brave when things go wrong. Thank you very much for listening, boys and girls. I hope you enjoyed the story. Bye bye.
Hi, I'm Tom Percival. I'm the author of Perfectly Norman and Ravi's Roar, The Invisible, The Seesaw, Misha Makes Friends, and Ruby's Worry. Now, Ruby's Worry is the book that I would like to read to you today. So, if you sit comfortably, I shall begin. Ruby's Worry by Tom Percival. Ruby loved being Ruby. She loved to swing up high, and she loved to explore wild, faraway places. Sometimes she even went all the way to the very bottom of the garden. Ruby was perfectly happy until one day she discovered a worry. Now, it wasn't a very big worry. In fact, it was so small that at first, Ruby hardly noticed it. But then the worry started to grow. Each day, it got a little bit bigger. It just wouldn't leave her alone. It was there at breakfast, staring at her over the cereal boxes, and it was still there at night while she cleaned her teeth. The funny thing was that no one else could see Ruby's worry, not even her teacher. So Ruby pretended that she couldn't see it either. And she tried to carry on as if everything was normal, but it just wasn't. The worry was always there, stopping her from doing the things that she loved. Ruby wondered if the worry would ever go away. What if it didn't? What if it stayed with her forever? Ruby didn't realise, but she was doing the worst thing that you can ever do with a worry. She was worrying about it. Well, now the worry was enormous. It could barely fit in the kitchen at tea time. It filled up half of the school bus. And it took up whole rows at the cinema. The worry became the only thing that Ruby could think about, and it seemed like she would never feel happy again. Then, one day, something unexpected happened. Ruby noticed a boy sitting alone at the park. He looked how she felt. Sad. And then she noticed something else, something hovering next to him. Could it be a worry? It was. Ruby realised that she wasn't the only person with a worry after all. Other people had them too. She asked the boy what was on his mind, and as he told her, the strangest thing happened. His worry began to shrink. Then Ruby did the best thing that you can ever do if you have a worry. She talked about it, and as the words tumbled out, Ruby's worry began to shrink until it was barely there at all. Soon, both of their worries were gone. Finally, Ruby felt like herself again. Now, of course, that wasn't the last time that she ever had a worry, because everyone gets them from time to time, but now that she knew how to get rid of them, they never hung around for long. So I hope that you enjoyed the story, and I hope that if you feel worried about anything, you can find a trusted friend or adult to talk to about the way that you're feeling, because it always helps to share the way you're feeling with other people. And if you're not worried about anything, if you're feeling happy, then share that with other people too, because that's always a good thing to do. So thanks for listening. I hope you enjoyed the story, and goodbye.